Repeat. No. Yeah, just whatever that was, and when you closed your eyes and you breathed in and exhaled and thought about that special, how you felt, what were some of those emotions? What were some of those emotions?
Just grateful.
Grateful? Grateful. Okay, that's good. Good. Grateful. Grateful for the experience, or maybe, or what that, or who that was, who shared that with you or helped you with that. Anybody else want to share how you felt?
Yeah, Belinda.
For me, I would say thankful. Just, when you go online and you read some of like the posts on Facebook and Instagram and, you watch the news, I'm just thankful that my family, we're healthy, we're whole, we're happy. I mean, the kids are bored out their mind, but, we're healthy, you know what I mean? So just being thankful.
Okay, very good. Annie? Oh, I think she's frozen. She'll come back. Anybody else want to share? For me, I thought about, and again, you don't have to share, but I'm the birthday queen. I love to celebrate birthdays. So whenever someone does something special for me, and it can be just little that, the fact that somebody remembered, I always feel that I'm so blessed. And I just it's a good feeling to know that somebody cares, right? To know that somebody cares about you enough to take time to, it could even be a card, or it could be, just showed up with something, for you. So I think that caring is a feeling that we all have. You want to be cared for. You want to be, feel that somebody else cares about you. So one of the things, does anybody else want to share before I move on? So one of the things that I pray for every day is to be a blessing to everyone I come in contact with, and that others would be a blessing to me. And I don't know, some of you probably know this, that Mary Kay had a prayer in her desk. And any of you that have been to her office, I envision that it was on the little pull out of her desk where she could write on it. But I envision that it was taped there. I don't know if that was the case or not. So I read that, and it made me think about what I'm always praying for, to be a blessing, because she said, it says found on the top right-hand drawer of Mary Kay's desk. It said, "Oh Lord, grant that each one who has to do with me today may be happier for it. Let it be given me each hour today what I shall say, and grant me the wisdom of a loving heart, that I may say the thing rightly." And then she goes on to say, "Help me to enter into the mind of everyone who talks with me, and keep me alive to the feelings of each one present. Give me a quick eye for little kindness, that I may be ready in doing them and graciously receiving them. Give me a quick perception of the feelings and needs of others, and make me eager-hearted in helping them. Amen." So what does that remind you of? Something that we always talk about when we describe Mary Kay or we describe the company. What does that remind you of, that prayer? Something that she always says, that we always talk about it in our parties. Anybody know?
The golden rule?
Yes, the golden rule, absolutely. Treat others as you want to be treated. And she always, we say that in our party, right? Or in our classes, we say that. And there's something else too that reminded me of, that she always says, a quote.
About the enriching women's lives, our basic philosophy of our company.
Mm-hmm. Her basic philosophy of the company. And one more.
Make me feel important.
Yes.
The sign.
Make me feel that people have an invisible sign around their neck, and it says, "To make me feel important." So that was what I thought about when Stacy was saying, how are we going to do your work? your business during these times. And one of the things was, she said, treat them that way in the golden rule. And then the thing that I always love when people share, that Mary Kay Ash talked about people and love. She didn't talk about profit and loss. She talked about people and love. So that was always on the forefront for her. So I kept thinking about relationships and how relationships are so important in our business, right? So years ago, gosh, I'm dating myself again, but years ago, there was this focus on personal shopper. You know, you had somebody who was a personal shopper for you that would actually go in and they would take care of all your shopping needs for you, not grocery store, but your clothing. So there was personal shoppers that we had. Then we went to personal bankers. So you had a personal banker who you did business with, but it was personal. And part of that was getting to know you so that they know what your needs are. So that's what we have to do with our customers. Even in these times, I believe that the relationship is what really is holding our business together. The relationship that we have with our clients, right? New or even the ones who was that who said, oh, I'm sorry that I don't remember. I was looking at my notes about the skincare, the customer, was that you, Jen? Oh, Kelly. So how long ago was that? You know, that you had met that person?
Oh, it had to be more than 20 years ago.
But 20 years ago, and then the person still, you know, that to me, that's, you made, and you know how they talk about first impressions? That when we make first impressions with people, that they remember that. And there's a quote that says that people don't always remember what you did, I'm getting it wrong, but they remember how you made them feel. So I believe that personal relationships is what is going to carry us through this and whatever's going to come in the future, because something else is going to come. And if we continue to have relationships with our customers, it's going to make a big difference. So that Kendra Scott, I can't get that out of my mind. You have to watch that if you haven't seen it. But one of the things she said was, make a connection before a transaction. What does that mean to you? Make a connection before a transaction. Anybody?
Get to know them first.
Right.
You know, find out, are you married? Do you have kids? When's your birthday? You know, just get to know them as, I guess, at least an acquaintance. But, you know, work up to being a friend before you start to sell. That's one of the reasons why, like Christy and Stacy, when you guys do the parties, you know, it's more personable and everything. And we wait to show the sales set at the end, because you want to get to know them. That's why we always ask, you know, all those questions of, you know, what do you want to change about your skincare and such like that before we actually even start with all the different skincare things.
Good, good. Jen, were you going to say something?
Same thing, basically. Just that you want to get to know them before you just sell them stuff.
Right.
So find out what they want, what they're interested in, what their needs are before you just blab about our whole product line.
Yes, absolutely. So that's making that connection before that. So, and that goes back to how did, you know, how that person feels. How do we make that person feel? So I'm going to take you again to another thought process. So think about the last person who experienced where they bought a product from you. Think about, you know, most recently, somebody who bought a product from you. And think about who that person was and what do you know about that person. It could be a repeat customer, it could be brand new, but think about that person. Just think about that person and just give me a quick, you know, what do you know about that person? Last person you sold from. So if I told you, you know how they do that thing on Facebook where they say, the last 7 pictures in your book, you know, in your photos, I want you to post number 7, you know. But think about that last person that you had to sell. It could have been yesterday, could have been today, could have been a week ago. But who was that person? Just give me a quick, you know, what do you know about him?
I made a delivery just before the meeting, and she's a repeat customer. She's the mother of one of my customers. She's very personable, and she's very meticulous in what she does. She has a regimen, and she does not deviate. She was talking about going walking this evening, and I delivered it at 6 o'clock. I said, well, why don't you go now? And she said, no, I have to go at 7 o'clock. So she's very meticulous at what she does. And she basically buys the same thing every time.
Okay, good, good, good. So you know all those things about your customer. Anybody else want to share? Anybody you can think of? I'll share my customer. My customer is a neighbor of mine. She doesn't live too far from me. And her husband jokes about every time when she says, okay, I'm going over Belinda's, he said, don't forget your checkbook. Because she always buys, and she buys for her daughter-in-law, and she buys for herself. So I know that. I'm like, why are you ordering? You just ordered your mascara. She goes, no, this is for Michelle. This is for Michelle. So, but I know that she hasn't used everything, kind of like Terry said. She hasn't used everything in our line, but she has her favorites. So my goal is, because I know her, is to talk to her a little bit more about why are you using that other company for your blush or whatever. But I know jokingly that she'll laugh at it, but I know that she is always going to support me. So I could call her and say, I'm doing mascara marathon. I got you, so those type of things. But she's somebody I know who I hope that I make her feel good, and that's why she continues to buy the compliments. So
I just want to add, when I dropped it off tonight, because she's one that always orders the same thing, and she, like I said, she usually doesn't deviate. I purposely took her a sample of the hand cream, the charcoal mask, and since it's coming up on Father's Day, I put some of the men's samples in there and made sure I pointed it out. And before I left, I said, make sure you try the charcoal mask and get back with me and let me know what you think. Hoping to maybe expand her products to maybe just one other something. But she buys the volume firm set, so I'm really not complaining.
the repair.
Yeah, the repair. So, but, just wanted to know that we've got other things besides that.
Mm-hmm. Good, that's good. Anybody else do that? Put the samples in there of product that your customer has not tried before with you? So I'm going to be transparent. So what Terry said, I want you to try it, is a key, because if you don't tell them, it's just in the bag, right? But the other thing is following up with them and say, hey, I'm just checking back to see if you tried it. Because if not, it's just a note on my customer app that has it, or on the receipt that says I gave them a sample, right? So following up is a big key to do that. So sample. So anybody else want to talk about their customer? Do you know why I'm asking you to do this? Any thought? I'm not just taking up time. I actually am doing that because I know that when you think back about your customer, it's more than a transaction, right? It's somebody you connect with. And I think we had this conversation before. If you've already started to establish a relationship with a customer, it really is, I'm not going to say the easiest, but it sometimes makes it more comfortable when you have to get in front of them now with everything that's going on, because you have a relationship with them. So get to know your customer. So that's what I want to talk about. I'm actually going to talk about something that I heard yesterday, that it says, your emotions are running high because we're a little anxious now. Everybody is, and everything we're doing. And again, that's why I did the breathing exercise for you. But the other thing is demonstrate your heart, is what I heard Gloria Mayfield Banks say yesterday. And she said, go back to that experience when someone made you feel amazing. what I just asked y'all to think about when you close your eyes, and then move away from excuses and the what if. What if they don't? What if they get upset? What if they don't, return my call? What if they don't answer? And say, what if they said yes? Think about what if they said yes? Wow, I'm so glad you called. I'm so glad you reached out to me. So wouldn't that feel different? That if you know your customers, you've reached out to them, you put aside all that and demonstrate your heart and just reached out to them and talked to them. So what if they said yes? That's a good feeling, isn't it? That they say yes. So I'm going to give you some key points that I think are helpful through this time or this season. And these are some things that I've used before and they've been very successful. So, and I call them the keys: K period, E period, Y period, and S period. I like acronyms. So the K for your business success is what we just talked about. Know your customer. Know who your customers are, their birthdays, because we have something that you can record those in, right? You can put them in your My Customer app. So you can put their birthday there, and it even sends you the reminder that it's their birthday. And also on My Customer app, you can actually go in, and you probably already know this, and you actually can select birthdays for each month. And then you could actually do an Excel sheet, download it, and you'll be able to have everybody's birthday in front of you. So you don't have to wait for the reminder to come up. You can do it at the beginning of July, or you can do it now and know for July that these customers are going to be celebrating their birthdays. So know your customers' birthday. Who are their family members? I have a neighbor across the street who has 3 teenage girls, and I've been trying so hard to get her to try. I gave her a sample of charcoal mask, but I know she has 3 girls, and if I'm going to buy product because they have skin issues, or they're, just dealing with their skin, I need to be able to do that, to be able to ask them to try my product, right? So, but I know they have girls, so girls need something, right, for their face. They need to be washing their face. So I see Taylor just put a note there about Project Broadcast, which is what we did training on Saturday, and you can actually do that. And I think, Taylor, you actually send out a message for your birthday.
Yeah, I do. So for my customer's birthday, I send out that it's like a birthday gift certificate, and it gives them, I found it on Google just by Googling it, and it gives them like 15% off one order within their birthday month. So that's what I send out to them. I send that out to them like on their birthday, or if their birthday is towards like the end of the month, I'll send it out at the beginning of the month. So they just have it, and it's just 15% off one order within their birthday month.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing. The other thing I put on my list for knowing the K is know what your customer's favorite product is. What's their favorite product? So if you know that that's their favorite product, now, if there's some new, for example, the charcoal mask, right? So the next time they buy a charcoal mask, they get the cloth with it, right? So if that's their favorite product, you can say, have a special, you get gift with purchase, so that you would know that and that you'd be able to talk to them about that. Or if something new came out, then you'd be able to share with them that, this complements what you already are using. So being able to share that information. So that's why you need to know. And then either in Project Broadcast or My Customer app, you can update that. So the other part of the knowing your customers, who are they? What are their needs? I heard somebody say that, when we were talking about, what does your customer need? What are their needs? Why do they buy? Why do they buy? Do they buy because, wow, they know or heard somebody tell them that, this product really works well on their skin, their friend recommended it, or you demonstrated it? So is that why they're buying it? And the other is, it could be a personal motive. The other is, this is something that we need to know. Are they facing unemployment? I mean, I know that there are people that still haven't heard whether or not they're going back to work. So people are experiencing those. So I say that to say, have they had a chance to hear your Mary Kay story? There's a lot of women, I heard on a news report here in Arizona that there's a lot of women that, teachers who said they're not going back to the classroom. So there is, well, it's frightening because that could mean shortage of teachers, you know, for our children, but it also means that there's women out there that are looking to do something different, change careers, right? So share the Mary Kay story with them, and that's an opportunity for them, because they can make a decision whether or not they want to do that or not, but it also helps you to practice, and plus letting them know that you are aware of their situation. So that's the no, that's the K, that's the no. So the other thing I want you to, for the K, is know your product. Know your product. So know your product, know what your product does, know what I call the features, benefits, and advantages. Anybody who's in other sales, know what that is. And then, you know, being able to share that. What do people like about your product? We had, I think we were at Fall Advance and one year, and we talked about how you could ask your customer to put on their Facebook page how much they love the product that they are using with Mary Kay, because then all their friends get to see that testimonial. So just asking them, wow, you love it so much. You know, part of my business that helps me, my business, are referrals. So would you be willing to put that on your Facebook page? So has anybody ever tried that? So that would be a great idea, because they already say they love it. So, you know, have them tell somebody about it. And what a better way to tell than on social media, right? Social media will help you with that. So, and how does your product compare? I don't know if some of you heard, and this goes into the next part of K, is know your competition. But that I heard that Ulta, is that how you say it? Ulta is closing a lot of their stores, which we're hearing that a lot about a lot of different companies. So know your competition. And I have this that some of y'all can probably help me with. I cannot believe how many women that I run into when I ask them what are they doing for their skincare. And a lot of them are using oil of Olay. Or they're using, oh, what is it? Neutrogena, the wipes, you know, to clean their face. And so, I mean, a lot of them are using it. Why? Is it convenient? That's what they've always used. They never had a chance to try ours. I had a rude awakening the other day when I asked a customer of mine who actually, we do, she sells paparazzi, so I order things from her. But I said, I invited her to come to the class, the hydro session and hydro experience. And I said, have I shared with you our skincare line? She goes, no. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I thought I had. But we have been trying to connect our schedules, so I sent the samples to her. So she is one who, you know, has been using something else, and now she's going to at least try the product. Okay, so know your competition. Who is your competition? You know, Avon, sometimes people will say, well, I'm using Avon. I've been using Avon. So know who they are and ask them what they're using and how and why. Make sense? Okay, I wish we were on Facebook Live and give me some hearts to let me know I'm doing okay. So that you all are okay. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, so the E, so we're doing keys. Thank you, Keys, right? So the E is the exchange. It's building the relationship, what we talked about a little bit before. Asking them questions and putting them in your My Customer app, okay? So that you can actually talk to them a little bit about what they, you know, what they want, what their needs are, but it's you, it's your first impression. This is a time where it is all about you. It is all about you. So when you build credibility with your customers, and what are some ways that you can build credibility with your customers? Anybody want to take a try at that? What are some ways that you can build credibility? So the first thing that comes to my mind is following up with them. So when you say, I'm going to get back with you, or I need to check on that, that you actually do that in a timely manner where you reach out. So then people start to trust you and people start to think, okay. So she didn't know the answer. That's okay, but she got back with me with that information. Okay, so you build credibility that way. The other way you build credibility is by actually how you are. If you have your Mary Kay face on, at least they know you're using the product. If you say, oh, well, this mascara is Maybelline, so then customers will start wondering, why are you wearing something else, right? So if you're wearing the product and they ask you, well, what color is that? I think it was Donna that, last week a week ago, we did the eyes. That was June 5th. And one of her customers asked for crushed berry. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I never even thought about that, because that's what was in that whole demo. It had crushed berry in it. And I'm thinking, I didn't even have that. But think about, so she didn't have it, but she was able to get it for her customer because they saw it on Unstoppable Beauty and that's what they wanted. So that's credibility, right? When we don't have it, letting them know we're going to order it, those type of things. The other part of credibility is, again, trust, which they trust you. They trust you, because you stand behind your 100% satisfaction guarantee. So that, when they tell you something's wrong, that you actually, don't give them a hassle, like no return policy, but you actually share that up front with them and they feel comfortable coming to you when something's not working. So you're building credibility with your customers. So you, again, first impression, your confidence, how you carry yourself, how you look, how you feel, all those things help you with the sale and moving forward in your business. So then lastly is the S. So I talk about striving for excellence. Part of striving for excellence is, now's a good time if you haven't had a chance to go to Mary Kay University and take some of those classes. Striving for excellence is also right now being here, iron sharpens iron, being here and being in the training, showing up on Tuesdays, inviting customers to come to our events, our virtual events, or some of you probably have done, Cheyenne, I think you have, right? Done your own virtual events. So striving for excellence, trying something that is uncomfortable and doing it and making sure that you are showing up, trying new things and not being like, I'm not doing that. So, because this, just like everything else that we talk about is changing, so the same way that we do business now is changing. So you heard Christy say that she reached out to those referrals and people want to work, face to face. Well, I have an event on the 28th and they don't want to do face to face. The why is, Jeannie, is you. It's you. It's you. It's how you are, the first impression from you. Okay. It's all about you. So, but those are the things that we need to do, and we need to try something different, something new. And it's not comfortable. Same thing with reaching out to our customers now, right? Might be a little bit uncomfortable because you're just not sure how they're going to be, how they're going to react. Are they going to say yes? Are they going to say, you hear Stacy talk about that lipstick and makeup and skincare is recession proof. When you hear people saying that they're getting laid off, or I had a friend who just got her hours cut to part-time. She's back at full-time now, but back then it was part-time. So she's thinking, I can't afford to buy it, right? There's an opportunity. Could be a brand ambassador of yours, right? That maybe she might think about trying to do that instead of working her business. So, okay. So those are just some things that I think about your business, some different ways, a different way to think about your customer, a different way to think about running your business. The other thing that I just want to suggest is, again, inviting your customers, personally inviting them to come to our events. Personally inviting them right now for the customers that you want to join for the PJ party on the 25th, Thursday the 25th. Who is it that you could think right now that you could ask? And I'm going to I love Stacy does challenges. So I'm going to do that challenge right now before we close. I want you to take out a piece of paper and I want you just to brainstorm. I have this event that I do. It's called 60 Customers in 60 Seconds. So in that event, I want you to think about the customers that you would ask to be. And they could be, here's some of the categories that we brainstorm on. They can be coworkers, they can be neighbors, they can do people that you interact with, the lady at the dry cleaners, the lady at the bank, which I know we can't go in our branch right now, but the drive up lady, right? You know her name because you go there enough because you need to be going making deposits for your Mary Kay business, right? Think about if you have children, you know, the people that they come in contact, the teacher, the coach, you know, think about those different categories. And then the one that really got me when I started brainstorming on it is the family members that I haven't reached out to. Who in your family have you not reached out to? That, you know, for whatever reason, could be that one that's been a naysayer about, you're going to sell lipstick? Or it could be just someone that you haven't reached out to. And now that we do so many things virtual, we don't have to stop at, well, they don't live in town, so they won't be able to come to the event. You have relatives that are all over the United States that you could ask. So friends, relatives, somebody you went to school with, you know, those are absolutely with the discount now that goes on to the end of the month for the CDS, $3.50 to ship that, that package. That's a great idea, Jeannie, to think about those customers right now that you could order for. I have Pirate Ship. I love it. And I love the fact that even if I don't schedule the pickup, I can just go to the post office and there's a separate line for you to drop it off because it's ready. So I'm going to give you, just take a few minutes, those different categories, and think about who you can write down that you could invite for Thursday. So I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to write. I see some people still writing, so we'll just take a minute. So I found the document too, so I'll go over this just to let you, I can open it. Okay. Anybody come up with some names? Good. Cheyenne?
Yeah, I have a few.
Taylor? Okay.
Yeah.
Debbie? Jen? You get some names? Annie? Oh, she's writing. Good job, Debbie. Terry? Jeannie? Okay, I'm gonna go over because I think I might have skipped some categories. So this is one that got me too, was I mentioned bank. What about the doctor? What about your salon? You know, if you're going back to getting, you know, your hair done. Neighbors. It says social clubs that you might be, sororities maybe that you're in, church members, spouses, co-workers, spouses, family. So I call it family, but it could be in-laws, you know, that way. Yes, thought about some of my new co-workers. Oh, nice, Annie. And then family, friends, and then children, teachers, sports, or clubs. So, I think what that does for me, it prompts you to think of things differently, because sometimes we think of the same people or the same categories. And, you know, grocery store, that's the other one I thought about. You know, the ladies at the grocery store, or men at the grocery store that you haven't reached out to and haven't shared. I went into the grocery store at Christmas time with my basket and in the basket, my holiday things inside the basket. And I got a lot of people. I was able to drop some things off over there at the store for them to put a book in the break room. And the other was when I went with my husband to the eye doctor, and I had my basket, and they bought things from me. So, Jen, were you going to say something?
I was just going to ask, what products are they focusing on that night? Like bedtime products? Like, are you going to put on products that you do at night to go to bed since it's a PJ party, or what?
Yes, I believe that it's going to be like our other one, which was getting you ready for bed. So it would be the 3D, and instead of using a day cream, use the night cream, and then doing the charcoal mask.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if we did microdermabrasion in that one or not. So, but those would be the main products. So I'll get Stacy to send out the list so you'll know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then again, remember that if you don't have the samples, don't let that stop you from inviting them, because it can be QVC stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So ladies, anybody have any last minute comments or questions that I can help you with?
I have a question.
Yes.
But it's in regards to our challenge that Stacy gave us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like super quick question. I was just wondering if you could reshare the Mascarathon flyer in our Voxer.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, that's it. I was just thinking of doing that to get some items towards the 1,000 that we're doing.
Good. So y'all heard that challenge. What did you think about that as far as your customers? What do you think your customers would think? You think it'll be good?
Mhm.
Because they can win also. They could be put in the drawing to win. And I don't know that, like when I was doing the mascara marathon, I wasn't saying that to them, that they could win based on, you know, just by buying something from me. But this way they'll win. And, you know, I've been adding the sample of the eye makeup remover for that whenever I sold a mascara. So yes, I will post that mascara marathon. Anybody else have any ideas of what else we can do to help with that challenge for us to sell 1,000?
I love the way you had all the different categories of people and thinking of outside of the box, kind of like that.
Okay.
I know clear back in the day, Karen Schwarzkopf, a director here in Iowa, she used to do a scavenger hunt where she would go around for warm chats to say, I need somebody with red hair. I need somebody with 3 kids. I need somebody who works at a dentist office. And she would go around to people and say, who do you know that works in a dentist office? Who do you know has red hair? Who do you know has 3 kids? And then she would get names, and then she'd call those as warm chats.
Wow.
So that is something you can do kind of for your own personal challenge. You make a list and say, okay, how many people can I contact that have red hair? How many people can I contact that have 3 kids? How many people can I contact that work in a dentist office? And just make your own categories and your own game. If you make it a game, it's not work.
Right. That's very good. Very good. Anybody else have any ideas? And then we'll wrap it up.
I was thinking of, I know that like Stacy said that they would all be entered into a drawing for like the whole 1,000, but I was thinking of doing kind of like my own prize. like, I don't know, just everybody that orders, I'll do my own drawing. So you actually have a chance to win 2 free things if you purchase within the next week while we're doing the challenge.
Very good. Very good. That's a good idea.
I did a challenge last year on January, that'll be 2019 January. I tried to sell 100 items in 100 days. And then afterwards I gave away a $100 bill, and they thought it was so cool that I was giving away cash and not product. But that's
Wow.
only $1 an item away from my profit. So it really was so affordable and economical. So if you sold 25 items this week, you could give some customer $25, and they would think it's pretty cool. And they
Right.
probably will turn around and spend some of that 25 with you.
Right. That's very good. That's a great idea. I've never tried that one before. So, yeah, thanks for sharing. That's genius. So, very good. Very good. So, I want to end with this note. So, again, you have to watch that video with Kendra Scott and her mother. And one of the things that I got from it is that her mother said, I think she said it, that I guess her mother, I don't know if her mother stopped doing Mary Kay when Kendra launched her business, but her mother said, customers want to feel the love. She said, we surprise and delight them. And maybe it's a moment of joy for the customer. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea, to make them feel joy, surprise them and delight them. And that was why she said that they do the same things like Mary Kay, that they use the tissue paper, whatever, when they're packaging things up. And so, if you've ever got the CVS orders, my girlfriend sent me a picture of it and it says, hello, gorgeous, inside the box. So making them feel good. So that to me was in handwritten notes, seeing how they're doing. And they were surprised at a lot of the phone calls that they were receiving from her company. So delight them. I love that word. So delight them. So I'm delighted that I got to spend this evening with all of you. And I hope that what I shared today was something that you'll be able to take with you. And the biggest part that I want you to remember is that you are important, you're worthy, and that I want you to remember to breathe and make sure that you actually are taking the time to fill up your cup so that you can pour into other people. So have a great night, ladies. Thank you.